Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Viewer discretion is advised.
Connection to the attack on the Capitol on January 6th, just a short time ago. We do begin tonight here with the breaking news, the longest punishment yet in connection to the attack on the Capitol on January 6th. Just a short time ago, Enrique Tarrio, the one-time leader of the far-right group, the Proud Boys, was sentenced to 22 years in prison. It comes after a jury convicted him of seditious conspiracy, the judge calling Tarrio, quote, the ultimate leader of the conspiracy. The night before the attack, seen on video in an underground parking garage in Washington, D.C.
Oh, man. I'm sorry, man. I had to laugh about this, man. Great glory to the mighty one. Shalom, beloved brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike. Welcome. This is your humble servant, Big Levi. And today is Kokav, September 6, 2023, and it's currently 3:54 p.m. Eastern Time, pre-recorded. Yo, I had to laugh at this clown. It is at this moment this fellow realized that he was, quote-unquote, one of us. That he just, at this moment, he realized that he was not one of them. They treating him like he is. A lot of those guys, and we will call sellout, just because of this video, we're just saying that he is one of our brethren. Okay, because they always try to come against our people. Over here, we don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, whatever your position, we don't care about that. This is a great example how the Mighty One is giving a lot of people into great shame and great reproach. Okay, give them unto great shame and greater reproach. You, Enrique Tarrio, a black man, you associate yourself, oh, I'm Hispanic, and I'm the leader of these Proud Boys. We're proud. Okay, so, and this is what they did unto you. They give you 22 years, 2 plus 2. The nation know what's going on with you. And it's just the poetic justice in this. It's just ridiculous. And it's just amazing. And the clowning of this dude is just amazing. The work of the Holy One is doing out there. Okay, a lot of people think they are better than us. And then they went and allied themselves with the enemy, trying to quash us and saying things and come up with their little rhetoric and conspiracies and do all this nonsense. That's why we over here, we don't get involved with your conspiracies because they are dangerous. You folks despise reality. You despise the truth. You do not want the reality to come to life. You live in your fantasy and you will do anything. You'll do anything to keep this fantasy going, to keep the lies going. That's why we don't get involved in your, oh, the government is controlling the weather. The elite is controlling everything. No, the elite ain't controlling the so-called the Catholic Church, the Christian Church. They used to control, well, they used to have the illusion that they used to control everything. But in fact, the Holy One did control everything. Well, Big Levi, we live inside of an AI and everything is fake. You goddamn right, everything is fake. You got that right. When the AI received the order from the Holy One to keep us down and keep us in our punishment until our punishment is over, then the AI is turning onto those people that AI was blessing. I'm fine living in this matrix as long as my people is on top and the others are on the bottom. It's a simulation. The simulation, they were on top. Now the simulation is running the other way. Now we are on top. They are at the bottom. I don't see what's wrong with that. It was working well. You knew we were living in a simulation. You didn't say nothing about it up until the end right now. Oh, everything is fake and stuff like that. You got that right. Now it is your turn to experience reality, because you've been living in a bunch of fantasies and lies. And this is a dose of reality. You're not one of them. And then they make that very clear unto you. Cut this clown, man. Give that dude 22 years, man. Scum of the earth. You have no idea what those rhetoric of those guys did to people, well, whether they are kinfolk or skinfolk. And again, this dude right here is nothing but a skinfolk. Okay, this dude, put the picture right there. This dude right here is a skinfolk, an FBI informant. That's the same thing that happened to the Black Panther. The Black Panther movement got infiltrated by a bunch of skinfolk. They look just like our brethren. And Brother Huey and the others trust them. And then they ended up selling him out. You got the Yellow Panther, you know. Excuse me. There you go. The Black Panther movement, the Yellow Panther. Yeah, you got to be you got to be kidding me, man. Oh boy. There you go. Okay. Okay, our brethren got infiltrated. Right now, this sign, power to the people, okay? It got infiltrated. You see it in commercial. What's that woman name again? She progressive. The progressive commercial woman. I think her name is Flo. Progressive Flo, power to the people. There we go. Let me put this right there. Okay. Well, they don't show it. Progressive Flo commercial. There you go. Well, she made the power to the people the point. And one of the commercials, she say power to the people and then throw the black power sign. Power to the people. Come on, man. Power to the people. There we go. There you go. All right, the Black Power movement. And you got all those, you got John Lennon and all those backwarded scum. They took the whole thing. The swagger jacket, okay? The swagger jacket, and then they make it theirs. Now you even have the rainbow community. Yeah. Yo, you even got the rainbow community. You know, they have the power to the people, and then they just put it in their stuff. You know? All right, they got it there. And then if whoever says something about it, it's ours now. You know? That's when you let the Yellow Panther, the Yellow Panther, the Yellow Panther, Black Panther movement. Oh boy. Oh boy, they really don't want us, the Yellow Panther, Black Panther movement. All right, this is the dude they call the Yellow Panther. And then, oops, there we go. This is the dude, he was an Asian fellow. And then all of a sudden we got the Yellow Panther, the Brown Panther, the White Panther, and the Black Panther, the Swagger Jack, everything. This dude came in and he was an FBI informant. Okay, no fire show wide range of Black Panther informant activities. He was an FBI informant. He infiltrated our brethren, okay, because our brothers were being killed during Jacob's trouble in the 60s, and they armed themselves, okay, and then they got infiltrated. They couldn't take them down because they know once Judah pick up arms, the spirit gonna come with them, okay. That's why they always infiltrated our brethren and dismantled them from inside, because they know a little small group, like let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, that guy 12. Let's say a group of 12 of them can take an entire army down. They are well aware of this fact. That's why they're always trying to send their women first, okay? And then they will send their friend, and then they dismantle our brethren, and then give you the rainbow, and next thing you know, things you used to see like this, you don't see things like that. Now it's all twerking. It's all like, we all the same love. The universe is made out of love. That's a lie. According to Kilindi, the universe is made out of information, and we have a hell of a lot of information into you. Such as the Inquisition. You don't want this information to get out. But anyway, let's just bask in the glory of the Holy One and watch those clowns getting what they deserve.
In connection to the attack on the Capitol on January 6th, just a short time ago, Enrique Tarrio, the one-time leader of the far-right group, the Proud Boys, was sentenced to 22 years in prison. It comes after a jury convicted him of seditious conspiracy, the judge calling Tarrio, quote, the ultimate leader of the conspiracy. The night before the attack, seen on video in an underground parking garage in Washington, D.C., meeting with members of the Oath Keepers, including its leader, Stuart Rhodes, who is now serving 18 years in prison. Prosecutors say it was members of the Proud Boys who first broke through the metal gates around the Capitol, and that Tarrio was watching, posting messages on social media. At his sentencing, Enrique Tarrio pleading for leniency. He called January 6th a national embarrassment, crying at one point. His mother asking the judge for leniency for her son. Tonight, sentenced to 22 years now. Here's our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, leading us off tonight.
Today, Judgment Day for Enrique Tarrio, former leader of the Proud Boys, for his role in a seditious conspiracy that led to the January 6th. Former leader of the Proud Boys, for his role in a seditious conspiracy.
Thomas leading us off tonight.
Today, Judgment.
And I like to point out this dude and his fake ring. Always swagger jacking, okay? I believe the ring has the... It's a weird symbol, but it's just everything they have to swagger jack. Even the name War Boys. that has nothing to do with them. Just like the original name Cowboys. Cowboy, calling someone a cowboy or a black man a cowboy was an equivalent to calling them an N-word. That's what our brethren were called during the day they were keeping the cow. Okay, the cowboy, until the first black man come up with the story of the cowboy, and then they got Swagger Jack and Hollywood and all that. Next thing you know, you got cowboy music, and you got little Nas X put his own spin onto it. The real cowboy is now, it's something else. War Boys, and then you people want war, and next thing you know, when you get it, there's an issue there. You're crying, it was a national embarrassment. That's the same thing the so-called Gentiles going to do when this Hesh really hit the fan. Hesh hit the fan. They know that. They're just holding in their breath. When they start really smelling it, then they will call and cry in front of those giant angel beings that we landed here. You will call them aliens, but they're actually us. And you'll say, oh man, we didn't know this. We're so sorry what our forefathers did. We didn't know. You'll see the Pope crying and say, man, what happened was an atrocity. Can we just make love? Can we just love each other? I mean, the war, we tried a war, it didn't work. It's a national, international embarrassment. Here more food stamp. And then here more program, government program that can, which we will approve unto you if you approve for them, to get involved with more stuff. Here's some government guaranteed job and working in those buildings. We need a lot of custodian in there, and we don't want to call you janitors, but we need a lot of custodian. There are job openings now. We will treat you better. We need more park in the hood, and we need to slightly give you some of that housing, and which we will approve through the colorblind allegation or colorblind coalition, whatever you want to call it, and then we're going to come over there and do this, do that. That's exactly what those people are going to say, but it ain't going to work, okay? You know, 22 years. How old is this clown? All right, the famous mouse. I thought I fixed this thing, but it didn't. All right, using. Oops. All right. Okay. How old is Enrique Tario? Oh.
According to KCRA, but prosecutors say the 39-year-old Miami resident organized and led the Proud Boys assault from afar, inspiring followers with his charisma and penchant for propaganda.
Okay, so the dude is 39 years old. He'll be 61 when he get out of, if he can get out of a jail. Okay, all right. So I believe what's his background? Personal life. Yeah, he's of Cuban and identify as Afro-Cuban. Okay, a black man. Okay, he's going out there. All right. Let's look at the Afro-Cuban. Okay, a black man because he was born in Cuba. Okay, black man, he went out there being the Proud Boys and tried to lead white supremacy, being an informant and all this nonsense, and that happened unto you. Okay, the so-called Dominican are the same kind of people. If you want a Dominican to hate you, call him black. If you want a Dominican to murder you, call him Haitian. Okay, those are the kinfolk or skinfolk, most likely, that don't want nothing to do with us. Always ally themselves with the enemies, beating on their own people, destroying their own people, and then now, once they got what they deserve, suddenly they are crying. You know, those are the same people back then that run to the Gentiles and run back to Egypt. Those are the ones that went and say, hey, let's make a covenant with them. Ever since we left those Gentiles, our life been hish. Let's fight for them. But we're going to disguise that under some kind of patriotic whatever. And then they give him 22 years. Okay. What's that? Was that me? Oh, yes, that's me. Sorry about that. I thought I put this thing on vibration, on vibrate, but yeah. Those are the group of people that always selling out their own and then go back when things are not good. It will ask black folk like, yo, black people, my brothers, say something, man. I'm being treated like you now. Okay, first of all, we're black, man, and we don't know you. We have no idea who you are. You swagger jack a bunch of our stuff. You go out there, you do all this nonsense, and now you're being clowned. Another clown posted a comment in our YouTube video talking about, well, Jacob's trouble have to happen because there are so many Israelites out there misbehave. The women are still twerking. The men are still doing this. Okay, first of all, there's so-called all black. We are what you're calling black people. We are not all the same. See, these dude and our people are not the same. Okay, he is not one of us. And the mighty one give him unto great shame and great reproach. No more confusion in the midst of us. You will see this. All the people that are committed confusion in the midst of us, they won't be here. They'll be given into great shame and great reproach. 22 years. Well, Jacob's trouble have to happen because so many black people out there are doing this or doing that. We don't give a crap. That has nothing to do with the nation. This is a personal matter. As a whole, the whole nation, we already repent. The one that need to be repent and come back to the mighty one already did. The others that are out there do some stuff, they are not our people. They are not. They are not being called, and most importantly, they are not being chosen. They are not our people. Oh well, we got people in the politics. We got people in that. No, those are not our people. They're just other nation. We are a very small group. The chosen is very small in the midst. There's a lot of folks out there that look like us, but they ain't us. Okay? Great glory.
Day for Enrique Tarrio, former leader of the Proud Boys, for his role in a seditious conspiracy that led to the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Tarrio sentenced to more than 2 decades in prison 22 years, the longest imposed thus far in connection with January 6th. Terrio pleaded for leniency, calling January 6th a national embarrassment, saying, "I will have to live with that shame and disappointment for the rest of my life."
No, Hish. You will live with that shame and disappointment for the rest of your life? No, Hish, what do you think was going to happen? What do you think that's going to happen? You see, if this dude and the opposite side was somewhat fighting for our people, he wouldn't get 22 years. They wouldn't even convict him because the trouble would have been too much on 83. The riots, the fight, the protests gonna be too much. They would have just let him go free. If it was something that he did for our people, they would have just give him like some, some warning and then stuff like that, and then later on kill him. Okay? But they wouldn't imprison him. They tried that with Malcolm and Dr. King. Yes, I'm waiting for all of you scumbag try to tell me something else. I'm just giving an example here. They could not imprison them like that because they cause more problem when they're inside the prison than outside. So this dude did not say anything for our people, trying to march for our people, but he was marching against our people for the enemy. And the enemy know the blessing is over, and he know he doesn't need his help, so he's giving into great shame and great reproach. That's what that
Judge
is.
Timothy J. Kelly calling Terrio the ultimate leader of that conspiracy and saying that he has shown no remorse. The sentencing coming after more than 3 hours of a dramatic hearing in a packed courtroom. Prosecutors describing Terrio as a political terrorist who sought to use force to block the peaceful transfer of power.
Okay, so you are a Cuban, a black Cuban man. You interfere with their... Of course, listen, Bridget. This dude is just a scapegoat, all right? He was the guy. He was an FBI informant, okay? He was the guy they put out there just in case the H didn't work. They're going to blame everything on him. And it didn't work. Now they're blaming everything on him. Okay? So this guy, you interfere with the Gentiles' peaceful transfer of power. All right? You cause all of this. They literally blame the whole January 6th on a black man, which we told the people that's what's going to happen. We told them ever since this thing happened in 2020, we said they will find a way to blame the whole thing and on a black man, so to speak. They will blame it to one of us. Somebody that looked like us, they said, this is your fault. You interfere with this issue. That issue was going to be so peaceful. Of course, we're going to disregard Trump because of all the damn thing like this. But you are the one that did this, okay? Yeah.
Terrio was not present on January 6th after he was arrested and ordered to leave Washington, D.C. But prosecutors said he still played a key role in the planning and orchestration of the attack. Okay. This now infamous video showing Terrio meeting with Stuart Rhodes and the other leaders of the Oath Keepers in an underground parking garage in Washington, D.C. on the eve of the riot.
Okay, so this is what they do. This is how they meet, all right? This is how they meet with their own people in secret, and then they plan assault. They plan to go in Chicago and wearing blackface and driving in their car and shoot our people, and then the news like, well, it was gang-related. This is how they do
the attack.
Okay.
This now infamous video showing Terrio meeting with Stuart Rhodes and the other leaders.
Okay. They meet in parking lot. All right. And he was an informant. Okay. And then they do stuff. Men and women. Men and women. Okay. Wearing the cowboy hat. You're talking about their, well, of course, if you look at over here, you'll see the number 10. Michael is always watching over them. Okay. Michael always in the midst, whether they want it or not. Michael always there. Let me enlarge this. Okay, number 10. And then they met with people there, shaking hands and stuff like that. And then they're going to come and take over power and then bring Jacob's trouble onto us. It didn't work.
Keepers in an underground parking garage in Washington, D.C. on the eve of the riot. Rhodes now serving 18 years in prison. And prosecutors argue that it was a squad of Proud Boys who first broke through the metal barriers protecting the Capitol, saying Terrio watched the violence unfold, and at 2:38 p.m., posted on social media saying, "Don't expletive leave." The verdict with political implications, as the Proud Boys have been tied to former President Trump after he called them out by name when pressed during a debate.
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
Terrio's defense tried to...
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by for 22 years. And then we will call you and let you know what we're going to do, and we'll tell you what to do. But stand back and stand by. And acting like they have some kind of power. Your power run out. All those crabbles, brethren, it's just like the Most High clowning them and showing to the entire world they lost the blessing. Here are men, here are a nation of so-called Gentiles. Gentiles men, their leader was a black man, you know, and they couldn't even do anything. All this guy did, he just stayed home and then he let the others go out there. And a bunch of people died in January 6th. Of course, like we know, January 6th, that's when World War III began. What is World War III? The fight between Gentiles versus Gentiles. They are killing each other, shooting each other, whatever you want to call it. And our people were home, they were safe, except for Mr. Enrique Dario here, who got the short end of the stick because they just blame everything on him. He orchestrated this thing, he was this, he was that, and that's what he did. Now, this will teach a lesson to a lot of folks that don't look like them, but they look like us, to cleave unto us. Because if you go attach yourself to the enemy, this is what's going to happen unto you.
Portray him as a misguided patriot who was trying to save the republic, noting that he wasn't even there. But the judge had a blunt response. You made that argument to the jury, and the jury did not believe it, later saying he's convicted.
All right, so let's bring in Pierre Thomas. He's live outside the federal courthouse tonight. Pierre, we know this is the longest sentence yet. You were in the courtroom for much of this today. We know his mother, his fiance, his sister, all pleading for leniency, but this judge has said that Tario showed no remorse.
David, Tario's family pleaded for leniency, his mother in tears. He appeared tearful as well, but David, I have to say he strolled into court today in an orange prison jumpsuit looking confident. And while he called the attack a national embarrassment...
The dude was confident. He knew he was going to get like 2 days or maximum 2 weeks. You know? He was so confident. Like, you know, hey, we got your back. Tell you, you're an FBI informant. We ain't gonna do. Come on, man. Just because you're a black man born in Cuba, we give you a name like Enrique Tario. For instance, Enrique means Henry, right? Let's double check that. Excuse me. Define the name, or what? Translate the name Enrique into English.
According to the bump, the Spanish boy's name Enrique means home ruler. This name receives its meaning from the German name Henrik, in which Chaim and Rick translate to home and ruler. This name is most recognizably known by the famous Spanish singer Enrique Iglesias, who has taken the English and Spanish-speaking world by storm with his.
All right, we don't give a crap about that cowboy Enrique Iglesias, but of course, Enrique means ruler, okay? Enrique translation.
According to Hello Magazine, Anna Kournikova and Enrique Iglesias are proud parents to a trio of children, and they're growing up fast.
Okay, good. How do you say Henry in Spanish?
In Spanish, that's
Enrique.
Okay, Henry. So Henry in Spanish is Enrique, which means home ruler. So, and instead of being a home ruler, this fellow going to be a jail ruler. Yeah. Instead of ruling your home or their home, you're going to rule somewhere else. It will depend. You see, a ruler can be a king or a queen. For the one in the comment board, Enrique Dario, will it be ruling as a king in there? or will they make him rule as a queen? All right, Enrique, you might as well bring your Vaseline.
He never took responsibility for planning it. David?
Pierre Thomas leading us off with the breaking news tonight outside federal court. Pierre, thank you.
Hi.
All right, then, yeah. So I wanted to clown this dude for a lot of people that out there, you know, that always despise all people. They look darker than us. This dude looks like, he look more black than a lot of black men that look like us. And then they despise all people. They ally themselves with the enemy, snitching for the enemy. They think they are still in the blessing with the enemy. And that's what happened. Again, we don't give a crap about whether you are a Democrat or Republican. Both of you are going into Revelation 13:10. Let's keep on moving.
For COVID, he arrived at a...
All right, I have no comment on this. We're just going to watch.
President Biden is taking no chances after the First Lady tests positive for COVID. He arrived at a Medal of Honor ceremony Tuesday, masked. The president took it off before speaking, but others stayed masked, including the young officer helping out as Vietnam vet Captain Larry Taylor was honored. The Bidens spent the entire weekend together, flying to Florida on Saturday to survey the damage from Hurricane Idalia.
Again, and it's this is the Hurricane Idalia, okay? And would they put over there with the afro and so, that thing didn't. What the hell? This thing ravaged area that most our people don't even live there. But who do you have there standing over there? You know, people that look like us and saying, hey, look at this. We need your vote. Biden would have visited you. So we need your vote. We need your vote here and stuff. Yeah, that's not what that is, man. You know, you people acting like this thing affected us like more than affected you or anybody else. That's false.
Saturday to survey the damage from Hurricane Idalia and meeting with lots of officials and victims. She is now isolating at the Biden Beach House in Delaware. Her symptoms are described as mild. President Biden has, so far, escaped infection.
President Biden tested negative last night for COVID-19 and tested...
Okay, for a lot of people that don't know, Karine Jean-Pierre is what you might call a Levite test. Then again, this is a skin folk. Those are not our people. Okay, if it is one of our people, those are not the chosen. Those are the scumbag that went and then jumped on the other side. And I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. I'll say she is one of our people, because at the end of the day, when Egypt was being taken down, remember in the book The Pillar of Fire, what Pharaoh did? He surrounded his house with Levites. He had all the Levite boys and girls living with him. And that's why when the great darkness came in upon the whole house, the Levite servants, they were walking around with light in their hands. They were the only one that could see around, because the entire place except for Goshen was in triple thick darkness. Remember, the mighty one say, "I will dwell in the thick darkness." You know, if you want to see the Holy One, you're gonna have to go in the triple thick darkness. So, and I give it the benefit of the doubt. She is one of us. Those are the people they put over there just in case something happened. They quick say a prayer for us. Okay, but again, skin folk, a bunch of people that they are not here in the best interest of all people. They are here to defend themselves and then get some few breadcrumbs, and they can get it while we're getting the land and the entire wheat farm, and we get servants to work in our wheat farms and make our bread for us. You can take the crumbs. Great glory.
Negative again today. He's not experiencing any symptoms.
Of
right
course
now, the United States is experiencing a COVID surge. The CDC is reporting an 18% rise in COVID hospitalizations just in the last week. Two new variants, Iris and Parola, are driving the surge.
So, let's define the name. Define the name Iris.
According to the bump, origin, Greek, meaning, strife. Eris is a feminine name of Greek origin that is sure to help baby embrace their dark, mischievous side. Meaning, strife, this name refers to Eris, the Greek goddess of discord.
Well, another word, demon or demonic. Alright? What's the other name again? Piola. Define the name Piola. No, not Piola.
According to Wiktionary,
Define
Piola M or
Piola.
F, agreeable.
Okay, all right, well. Oh, Piola. Piola. Is it Piola? Piola, vulgar, dick, cock, penis, synonym to Kaolo, Pito, and Pixa, Pizola. Is that what that is? I may have that, the Piola. So, oh man, the Mosa has, wow, what a sense of humor. Am I really, is that what that is? Piola, okay? Is that what that is? Piola, okay? Let me just oh, okay. Oh, well, it seems like, okay, yes, Piola, tenure, natural, tenure, wing, that's what it is. Man, is that what that is? Yep, that's what that is. That's exactly what that is there. Piola, vulgar, dick, cock, penis, synonyms, Caralo, Pito, Pixa, Pixola. Huh, Pixa. What about Pixar picture? Pixar. So all that time, when you're watching this Pixar, this limp is a symbol of a wing. Oh man, the Mighty One is really effing those people out there, man. You see, whatever you want to believe this is a conspiracy theories or they're trying to bring the fear and stuff. No, the Mighty One is and again, the Mighty One is not giving those people any chance. Like he really getting them like all over. Then again, look what behind this dude, Wicked. The Wicked is being Piolas out there, man. Look at this, man. You can make this up. Okay? The Wicked is getting Aries, strife, okay? To embrace the darkness and to be the darkness, to be the agent of discord, and then Piola. The Mighty One literally bring discord in the midst of them and this word right there. Through the Wicked. You can't make this up. Alright? So, man, I said I didn't have any opinion, but then again, man, that's what that is. Aries and Piola in the mist. Man, you wicked shall find no peace. You think you're going to enjoy your blessing like this and stuff? It won't go anywhere. This thing, it never went anywhere. It ain't going to go anywhere. You know, it's more gonna come and stuff like that. But anyway, man, great glory. Let's keep watching this.
They're all really quite contagious. So they spread readily and they can produce milder infections, even though we've had previous infection and previous vaccination.
Whoopi is not here. She has COVID. Yes, it's back. It's back.
It's back.
Whoopi Goldberg is among those battling COVID.
Of course, just always make sure you, man. This one trick pony, man. This one trick pony never fail. It is always put somebody that look like us over there, and then just make sure like, hey, this age is out there, but it's affecting you too. I mean, you 13% of the population, but the hurricane affected you, and then the sting over there affecting you. Everything is affecting you
right now.
But she's on the mend.
There's renewed focus today on the president's age. 73% of registered voters say at 80 he is too old to run for re-election. The author of a new Biden biography, The Last Politician, says he wouldn't be surprised if Biden drops his 2024 re-election bid before the year is out.
It wouldn't be a total surprise.
Wouldn't be a total shock.
It wouldn't be a total shock.
No, I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked. I'll be very shocked, sir. I'll be very shocked. But yeah, whatever's going on out there, man, you people deal with your ish. Just gonna keep it moving.
Collapsing. It happened on Lake Mendota at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Between 60 to 80 people stood shoulder to shoulder partying on the pier when it gave way.
All of a sudden I hear screaming, and then I was in the middle of the dock. I think in the moment it was a little bit shocking.
The pier is a temporary structure used during the summer to load and unload people from small boats. It's not meant to hold all those people. It was actually scheduled to be taken apart today.
Some people were scraped up pretty bad.
You can see dozens of students swimming to shore. Others were rescued by boat.
5 students were treated at the scene. 1 was taken to a hospital.
So, of course, that's it's symbolic. It's analogous with the fall of this kingdom. And as you can see, those folks cannot have any fun. Anywhere that they go, try to have fun, something unusual always happen, and throw water into their party. I think it wasn't the water, but it's always something that really messing them up. There's nothing they can do about it. Whatever that they do, they're always getting F up, because the Holy One say this blessing is done. 73,000 of them guarded in the desert or in that bed lake, trying to do that Burning Man thing. Mighty One throw water on them. And a bunch of them in there trying to do that spring break, whatever, the holiday thing, and the whole thing collapsed. It's just those folks can't enjoy anything. They try to go around and visiting Idalia victim. The Mighty One throw the plague in the midst of them. Okay, so it's just show you that they are being given into great shame and great reproach. All right. So then again, why is all those things are happening? They're happening because of Genesis 15 verse 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. 2019, indeed, we entered our recovery from the quote-unquote the curses, the recovery from the curses that we've been suffering for over 400 years. 2019, right after 2020 kicks in, especially in March 2020, the whole thing went haywire. It was not the elite, it was not the so-called the 1%, the DuPont, the Rockefeller. Those guys are powerless. They have zero power whatsoever. Okay, Warren Buffett. That's what Warren Buffett is probably the wisest of all of them. He knows very well what's going on. He's very quiet and he's very careful when he's speaking. He always speaks as a man that he's very grateful, and whatever that he has, it's not his. It was given unto him. Watch Warren Buffett the speech or books. You will see he's a very somewhat humble man. And because he know for a fact whatever that he owns, it's something that he worked for. He knew the blessing was there. He tapped into the blessing. And a lot of people that look like him, a bunch of losers, they didn't tap into the blessing. They get the short end of the stick. But a guy like Warren Buffett, he didn't enjoy that thing, till this day. The dude is still alive. But he is powerless. Your Bill Gates, those guys are powerless. They have no power. Bill Gates cannot depopulate the earth because he did not populate the earth. Okay, those guys can't do anything to us. Whatever that's happening to them out there, it's the power of the Holy One. The reason why they are infertile, the reason why the population are dropping, it's not because they are doing this to themselves. The Holy One is doing this, and with our prayers and high vibration, we are doing this to them, and they cannot recover. They know that since the 1970s. They know they were below the replacement. That's why they were pushing the whole thing. Women leave the house. And they weren't pushing this against white women. They were pushing this against our women. That's why they were pushing women, leave the house, get your own job, and then don't listen to men and stuff, and devise all people in the 70s, because they know if the men and the women stay in the house and still together, we'll overrun the entire planet. They know that. And we are still overrunning the entire planet, all right? So the population are dropping. The world recently reached 8 billion. Okay, so who's reached 8 billion? You guys are dropping. China is like out of whack. China, the ratio of taco and sausages are out of whack. China is a sausage fest. They might as well start a huge industry of importing sausages. Yep, those guys have to move in Africa to get some of that taco. because they don't have that much over there in China. But nonetheless, this happened because the 400 years is over. And now we're in Genesis 15 verse 14. And also, that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. And the Holy One is judging the nation through the 10 plagues of the apocalypse of Abraham. And multiple things that are going out there. And the one that we just witnessed here was sorrow, okay, with the whole failure of this dude with his stuff. You know, they can enjoy the blessing anymore. That's what it is, okay? All right, let's keep on moving to the next video. Okay, this is, again, we've been talking about these things for like forever, but people never listen, and they think this thing is just, it's a joke. All right, so listen to this.
Right now on Fox 35 News at 10, a mother in pain after losing her babies.
And I started getting this gut feeling like something was wrong.
Her family gone in an instant.
I knew it was them. I just knew it.
As she comes to terms with the devastating loss, she shifts focus to the danger in the area.
Every time you hear sirens, every time you hear cops, you're wondering if it's one of your family members. And this time it just so happened to actually be my family.
Okay, this is no joke, all right? You lost 3 kids at the same time. Okay, you not only you lost your grandmother, you lost 3 kids in a crash on the same day. This is no joke, and we've been warning people out there, hey, get out of the churches and watch out for the ley line, pray and meditate so you could be covered. But hey, that's what happened.
These are the mother's 3 young children. They were killed in a car crash last night in Osceola County along with their grandmother. Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Marlisa Goldsmith.
And I'm Manny Martinez. Troopers say a 15-year-old blew through a stop sign and hit the car they were traveling in. Fox 35's Valerie...
Most likely that 15-year-old survived and it killed everybody that is in the car.
Boy spoke with the grieving mother about what happened and the changes she now wants to see.
It's a very heartbreaking, a candlelight memorial set up where 3 children and their grandmother were killed. Take a look behind me. You could see balloons, stuffed animals, and even pictures are set up here. Investigators say a teenager was speeding and hit the family's car. Now the mother of the victims is speaking out.
I'm dying inside. I don't get to see my children anymore. I don't get to see my mother anymore.
That's bad, man. Okay, you lost your kids and your mother. Okay, you lost your kids and your mother. They're all gone. And the whoever did this is still alive.
Sabrina Hernandez stands at the intersection of San Miguel Street.
Okay, so again, for the people that think like we are making this up and people that think like this is done because, oh, it just, what a tragedy. No. What you can see, there's Laurel and San Miguel, and we know who's in the midst. The Holy One say he did this. There's a reason why he did that. Okay? And again, like I said, I'm not making this up, and we are not making this up. We see the signs. They're all everywhere. All right? For those of the people that don't know what that is, and the people in the comment board, put it over there and let them know who is in the midst. San Miguel. Okay? Laurel, let's define Laurel. It's like it could be the flower, Laurel. Oh boy. There we go. Good. Define Laurel.
Here's the definition of laurel. Any of a number of shrubs and other plants with dark green glossy leaves.
So the bay laurel used to let me see. Roman Emperor Laurel. No. Laurel crown. I should have said crown. There we go. Laurel wreath. All right. Okay, this is the Laurel wreath. You know what? I'm not interested in shopping. Laurel wreath.
According to History Museum of Mobile, a laurel wreath is made of branches and leaves of the laurel, a type of evergreen shrub or small tree. In ancient Rome, it was worn on the head as a symbol of triumph. The symbol of the laurel wreath is from Greek mythology.
Okay, a symbol of triumph. All right, a symbol of triumph. Okay, who's triumphing over there? Triumph, Saint Miguel. Okay, or Saint Michael. Daniel 12:1. The archangel that is over the nation of Israel. Well, not the people over there in that desert, but that watching over us. Okay, you don't know what the ancestors of these women did. Okay, of those kids. You don't know who they were that came back. Were they part of the Spanish Inquisition? We don't know. Are they kinfolk? We don't know. All we know, judgment was passed and the Holy One triumphed. Okay, no more confusion, man. And people think like we are just saying those things because we just like putting things together. Everything that we've been saying from 2020 is consistent. And it ain't gonna veer. All you need to do is define the names, looking for the numbers, looking for the stuff. And we told those people the whole ley line thing, which the St. Michael line, the dragon line, that's what it calls. This thing is heavily in the midst of those people. And people don't want to listen. Well, hey, fine by me. You know, you do your thing, but fine by me. Let's keep on moving.
Sabrina Hernandez stands at the intersection of San Miguel Street and Laurel Avenue where her family was killed. Her children were 1, 9, and 11 years old.
Okay, 1, 9, and 11 years old. Uneven number. Well, I've been odd numbers. Okay, 1, 9, 11 years old. Great glory.
Mother of Miley Cruz, Marvin Cruz, and Anayari Hernandez, and Trinidad Hernandez was my mom.
Her 52-year-old father.
Okay, Mark 3. Is that what Mark 3? Or is it Mark 3? Mark greater than 3. Is it an oops? Are they talking about the book of Mark? It's not. Let's see, Mark chapter 3. This is as we're just checking. Mark chapter 3. Let's see. And he entered again in the synagogue, and there was a man there of which had a withered hand. And they watched him whether he would heal him on the Sabbath day, that they might accuse him. And he said unto the man which had the withered hand, Stand forth. And he said unto them, Is it lawful to do good on the Sabbath days, or to do evil, to save life or to kill? But they held their peace. And he had looked round about, and them with anger being grieved for the hardness of their hearts, he said unto the man, Stretch forth thine hand. And he stretched it out. And he said, and then it restored the whole hand as forth. So he used the electromagnetic field to heal the brother hand that was like withered away, like the hand was like rotten out. So I'm not quite sure if I got that right, but Mark 3 or Mark 3, it could stand for something else, but I just go into this. Mark 3 greater than Mark 3. Not quite sure what that stands for. If you know what it is, or if you know another meaning of it, go ahead and do that.
Father is in serious condition. Troopers say a teenager who was speeding blew the stop sign and collided with the car Sabrina's family was in.
This is the outcome. I lost my entire family. Right here, in this spot. I will never wake up and see my children again.
She tells us about the last time she talked to them.
My son called me and said, Mommy, we're 15 minutes away. And I said, okay, I'll see you in a bit. I love you. And he said, I love you too.
And
she had
that's
a feeling something was wrong when they didn't arrive home.
I started calling my son and my mom and my dad, and nobody was answering. And I started getting this gut feeling like something was wrong.
Exactly. So the gut feeling is called intuition. It's this spirit that you have in you that telling you exactly something is not right, something is wrong. And when our people felt like this, when they can feel something, they call them witch. They say, how did you know something was wrong? And when we go there, something was wrong. That means you astral project. You knew you know what? You did this. The mother did this to the kids so she can become rich. Burn her to death. And then take all her thing during the Inquisition. That's what they did to all people. So, okay, this is no joke, man. All right, I don't do ley line anymore because you just saw what happened here is just too much, okay?
So she went to the hospital and found out what happened.
What do you have to say to the teenager who did this?
I forgive you because that's I'm a Christian.
So okay, so this is what happened here. It didn't come out of my mouth, come out of her mouth. Okay, and that's what it is.
And I believe in Jesus.
Sabrina wonders why this isn't a four-way stop or why there's no traffic lights here.
Are we not worth it in Ponciana?
Wait, what's Ponciana means? I believe it means something. Define the name Ponciana.
Here's the definition of Poinciana, a tropical tree of the pea family, with showy red or red and yellow flowers.
Red and yellow, Madim in the sun. Shemeshite Madimite. Okay, good.
We count at all.
She says God is giving her strength as she thinks about the loss of her children.
They were supposed to bury me, and now I have to bury all of them.
Well, you're a Christian, you believe in Jesus.
That's the only way I'm standing here right now.
Now, troopers say the 15-year-old driver suffered serious injuries. Another 15-year-old boy in his car had minor injuries. The crash remains under investigation. Reporting in Poinciana, Valerie Boy, Fox 35 News.
Yeah, well, then again, beloved, we know why those things happen, and we know who it is happening to. A lot of Christians, those are the Christians that thought like they will be raptured. And then because they believe in Jesus, the Holy Spirit is in the midst of them, and then they will just be raptured. And you see what the Holy One is putting them through. That's why Saint Miguel or Michael is in the midst, and he triumph over them. So you Christians did a lot, man. During the Spanish Inquisition, you guys did a lot till this day. So this is the payment, man. This is the payment. So let's keep on moving. A terrible thing, but hey, great glory. Seeing here is the plague of the Holy One, all right, and then it's destruction by pestilence among the cattle. Then again, famine of the world, and like we mentioned before, cattle is anything that they can eat, their food sources. So as you can see, this thing is ravaging and contaminated the vegetables. And whether it's in meat or vegetable, but their food are contaminated. And this year, what they are seeing in this day is an increase of these things. So every year, it's something with 83. Every year, it is something horrible happening unto them because the blessing is over. And this thing is going to take over. And this thing is in the midst of them. There's nothing they can do. When they were under the blessing, none of this stuff was happening. So now it's increasing, and they just tell you upon the people that it is increasing. Usually they will say, oh, well, this thing is increasing among the African American community, and the diabetes community, the high blood pressure community, the people that are poor community. Now they are very direct. Okay, they say, hey, these things such as young children, older adult, and person who are in immunocompromised should be aware that there are certain foods that are higher risk for cyclopospora, contamination, and infection. And the foods are vegetables and fruit, raw vegetables. Okay, that's why a lot of people go their own because they don't trust those people. Let's move to the next video.
Cancer diagnoses and death.
I felt stuck. I felt frozen. It didn't make sense to me.
At age 32, Jaylee Thomas's doctor diagnosed her with late stage 3 colon cancer.
Now, again, as you can see, the so-called colon cancer is very prominent now. And the doctors, they won't check you until you're 50s. I have the same issue. I went to the doctors and I keep telling them like, hey, I believe something is wrong and I need to check all around and I need to check my colon. And they say, well, you're fine. You're not eligible until you're 50s. I'm like, how do you guys know this? And they say, well, do you have any belly pain and belly ache? I'm like, no, I just want to check everything and make sure that if I have something, I could caught it earlier. But no, and they don't do this unless you're 50, all right? So that's what's happening.
She and her husband had been planning for a life-changing event, but not this one.
I was pregnant. I was pregnant. So my husband and I, we decided we wanted to have a baby. So we gave it a go. It worked just like that.
Cancer diagnoses and deaths in people under age 50 surged in the past 20 years, according to the British Medical Journal. In 1990, about 1.8 million people were diagnosed, that figure rising to more than 3.2 million in 2019, nearly 80% more. Breast, windpipe, lung, bowel, and stomach cancers exacting the heaviest burden on those under 50 and bringing the highest death tolls. Common risk factors can include a diet high in red meat and sugar, physical inactivity, smoking, and drinking. The Canadian Cancer Society says its stats have not shown a sharp increase, but the overall burden and prevalence is a major issue.
We do have a worldwide obesity crisis, and without doing any epidemiology on my own, I suspect that that's the most likely driver.
The paper concludes by encouraging a healthy lifestyle and says it's worthwhile exploring lowering the recommended ages for screening and prevention programs. Thomas has been cancer-free for nearly a decade, but tells Global News she still lives with it.
I only started to realize what happened to me maybe 2 years ago. I have PTSD. I get sucked back a lot.
It may sound odd, but she's grateful. It set her on a new path, focused on meditation and health. Others, though, aren't so lucky. Nathaniel Dove, Global News.
Yep, that's what happened. And the food that they've been eating, a lot of food they've been promoting, such as, well, this is vegetable and it's healthy and stuff. Like I told those people, those folks, they swagger jack Dr. Serby, okay? And they took a lot. Before Dr. Serby, you didn't have all those craziness about diet going on. Dr. Serby came in with a nice diet, and they took what the good old doc said, they perverted it. They make our people one-sided. And then now a lot of those folks that have been eating this crap, this one type of food for like years now, and then there's the effect. There's an effect, okay? To the people listening, please check with your doctors, your colon. You need to check it, whether you feel fine or not. Check it. Have them run the diagnosis, because sometimes there are things hiding in there. You don't know what those folks are putting in your food. You don't know what that is. Whether you have the food, the only thing you can somewhat be sure if you've been growing your food for the past 40, 50 years. You don't know what those people are putting in your food. It is always good to cut whatever that is earlier, okay? Let's keep on moving.
Who died following an attack by...
So, and a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people may misinterpret this. So the people in the comment board, they already know what the grandmother age means. And they know exactly what had happened to our people during the Dog of Conquest, okay? The Dog of Conquest. Not Congress, Conquest. The Conquistador, okay, they bought the Dog of Conquest, all right? All right, which this book costs $953, okay? Because of the truth that is in there. And the 9 U's are $263, all right? And I believe on Amazon, let me see how much it costs on Amazon. $353 for the Dog of Conquest. All right. And let's see, Goodreads. Duke's University. Oh, well, the Internet Archive. Can we download it? I don't think they will make this thing downloadable. Can we? Of course not. It's not downloadable. You download option. Yeah, those are the rules. They won't make it download. You can loan it. Yeah, now you can loan it. They won't make this downloadable because they won't make this thing downloadable, okay? Because there's so much truth in there. And again, beloved, like we said, this little dog that you see in there, that's not the type of dog they used to unleash on our people. Just like you see this Mastiff, okay? Tibetan Mastiff. Okay? This is the type of dog, okay, they would unleash on our people. Okay? All right? Okay? All right? A 12 feet tall dog. All right? Giant freaking dog. Those are the Tibetan Mastiff. All right? Tibetan Mastiff. Okay? All right? Huge freaking dogs. All right? Okay, let's watch this. There's okay, giant dogs. They will breed specifically, and then they will unleash it on our people. They will devour our people during the Spanish Inquisition when the conquistador came here. All right, and then in the 1960s. All right. Okay, let me see this. Is that a Chinese? Okay, those are Mastiff, giant dogs. All right, they will breed them to be vicious, and those dogs were possessed, okay, by certain things, and they will just attack our people. Okay. All right. Those giant dogs. It's not those little cute dogs that you see. All right? Yep. So that's not those cute dogs. All right? So, and then again, this is what they've been doing this for a long time, brethren. Okay? All right? We're going to go down there in our community pages. We highly recommend the people to visit our community page every day. We post things there, and Jacob Strobel in Asia during the Inquisition, Brother Cap brought this information. All right, during Jacob Strobel, aka the Inquisition, this happened in the Canary Island. All right, this is what you people used to do to us. All right, okay, so you will tie up our brethren, hands and feet. And then you will unleash their dogs on your dogs on them and have them eating them alive. Okay, you will release bear on them, jaguar, lions, other vicious animals, bull. You will put them in a net and release those bull, and the bull will guard them to death. Okay, the bull will guard them to death. So that's what you people used to do, and you did this. All right. So then again, back during the civil rights movement, dog attacking men.
According to JSTOR Daily.
All right, so that's what you people did. All right, you will set your dog unto us and attacking our people. All right. Okay, you release the dogs onto our brethren and beat them up, and you didn't care. All right, that's what you guys used to do. And this is a grandfather right there. These men still have children. These children still live. And then they're going to tell you, well, he was a good Christian. He ain't going to pay for this. His children did not do this. They ain't going to pay. Okay, that's what you did. That's what you did. All right. Okay, this is the brother that this thing happened unto him. Okay, you broke our people, and then all you're going to say is Jesus, and then you're gonna go to heaven. That's why things like that happen. You never did. You never did know. Okay. All right. Crazy things. She's 93, 9 plus 3 equals 12, and you know the whole deal. How long are we into the... good grief. How long are we into this? How long? All right. 1:15. Should we take part 2? Let's take part 2. All right then, beloved, we will see you in part 2. Now, you can either wait for it or you can go look for it. It should be somewhere on the screen. You should see it, and then you can click on it or you can wait for it. If you're watching TV, I will advise you to go ahead and seek part 2, okay? All right? And again, beloved, everything that you've been seeing here, it's been prophesied, is happening. Those people have a lot to pay. There's a lot going on. I'm not making this up. It's not like I said, oh, okay, well, the dogs attacked this woman when she's 93, so I can say it's the 12th tribe, or the number 9 and the number 3 is pretty much the same. Well, I'll see you folks in part 2. Shalom.